Such precious time in this life. Well, everybody knows that it.
Protecting your Facebook account from hacking. And in this one, we are going to go through best practices and security tips on how you can be able to protect your Facebook account. Walk with me as we dissect and look one by one some of the best practices and security tips that we can be able to follow to be able to protect our Facebook account from hacking. Before we look at that, let's look at some of the reason why Facebook accounts get hacked. One of them is to gain authorized access to personal information. The other one is spreading spam or malware, and the other one is conducting fraudulent activities. So people get access or hack your account to be able to access your personal information, and this information can be used for various reasons, and some of them are very malicious. They even share them publicly to any people who want to use them. They can use them. The other one is spreading spam or malware. You've noticed some people, when their account has been hacked, they post funny videos and links whereby people are asked to click those links. So that is one way of spreading malware or spreading spam. The other one is conducting fraudulent activities. You've heard from people saying that their account has been hacked. When you ask for money, do not send because I'm not the one. That is one example of fraudulent activity.
In this life, well, everybody.
Following are some of the best practices that you can be able to follow to be able to protect your account. Number one is strong and unique password. Two, two-factor authentication. And three, being cautious with third-party apps. Four, avoiding suspicious links and phishing attempts. And five, keep your device and software up to date. And be mindful of public Wi-Fi and monitor account activity. And lastly, educate yourself about security practices. Welcome to your IT guru as we go through this step one by one so that you better understand what you're supposed to do in each. So the first one is strong and unique password. Strong and unique password can be summarized with three items that are easy to remember. One of them is use, two, avoid, and three, don't reuse. Use means use complex password with a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. So a strong password has a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Letters should be capital and small letters, then numbers and special characters. Then it should be at least 8 character long. Then avoid easily guessable information like your name or date of birth or any identifying information. So make sure you can go ahead and use your local language to generate this password. So if you are Swahili, you can use a Swahili word and then make a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. Special characters can be question mark, hash, at sign, exclamation. There's many of them. Then the last one is don't reuse. Don't reuse passwords across multiple platforms. So people have habit of making sure using one password across all their online accounts. Make sure to avoid that. In case one of the account is compromised, you find that all your accounts are compromised. So make sure you create at least a password, a unique password for each online account, such that if that account is compromised, it means it's only that and not all your social account or your online account. So remember, strong and unique password, use, avoid, and don't reuse. Then the other item is two-factor authentication. I have a complete video about two-factor authentication where I have even given you how you can be able to put two-factor authentication on your Gmail account. Make sure to check on the comment section I'll share that video there so that you can be able to know more details about two-factor authentication. But for this one, to enable two-factor authentication, two-factor authentication for your account means that you enable not only one form of identifying yourself, you use an additional method. So username and password is the first form of authentication. Then if you add your phone number whereby you set a code to verify, that is two-factor authentication. So make sure you do not rely on username and password alone. This is because when a person get access of password and username, they can be able to access your account. But if you provide an additional method where a code is sent, that person will not be able to access your account unless they have your phone number. Then require a verification code in addition to your password. So this two-factor authentication, it requires that you have a additional code that is sent to your password in addition to your password. And we are saying two factors authentication adds an extra layer of security. So make sure two-factor authentication is the best practice in terms of making sure that you protect any of your online account. Then be cautious with third-party applications. So for this, and what it means that when you download an application, you notice that before you open that application, you find that it gives you prompt to authorize or to give permission or to give access to various settings on your device. So make sure you only authorize trusted and reputable apps. And number two, regularly review and manage app permissions. Go through all your applications in your device. Make sure that you have revealed all the permission that you've granted, because some of these applications are there just to correct your personal information from your device that they can later use to compromise your account. Then avoid suspicious links and phishing attempts. Like I've mentioned, is one of the reasons why they hack your account is to spread malware and to spread spam. And those spams are normally spread through links and through videos. So the best thing is to be cautious of unknown suspicious videos or links. That's why you find that when they hack your account, they share videos, funny videos with links that you're told to click to open to watch. So make sure you don't click on those links. That's why you find that if your friend has been hacked and you click those videos that were shared, chances are also you yourself you be a victim of that. So make sure you be cautious. Then verify before entering your login information. Those links prompt for your credentials. Make sure you don't supply your login credentials unless you're very sure of where you're providing those credentials. Then keep your device and software up to date. Regularly update your operating system, web browser, and antivirus software. These updates include security patches. Security patches are updates, and these patches normally are there to loop or to seal those security loopholes or vulnerabilities in those applications. So make sure you regularly update your device, your applications, or your application. Make sure you check for updates. Then be mindful of public Wi-Fi. So in this one, we are saying avoid logging into your account on public networks. So when you're using a public Wi-Fi or a public network, do not log in. Do not provide any login credential to any of the application when you're using public networks or public Wi-Fi. Also, make sure that you disable that setting of where your device connect automatically to any open Wi-Fi. Remember, even hackers create those open Wi-Fi. They deliberately put them without password so that when you log in and you access them and you start using them, then they can harvest your credential from your device uh, and they can be able to use that for their own malicious purpose. Then use a VPN for added security. In case you have to use a public Wi-Fi or a public network, make use of VPN, virtual private network, for an added security. Then monitor account activity is another item or best practices. Make sure you check for suspicious logins or unusual posts. So these accounts, especially Facebook, will tell you that there is unknown or suspicious activity that has been noticed from your account, and they will send this on your email. Suspicious activity example is login. If you are used to logging in from point A, and then one at a given time you log in from point B, that one is captured as a suspicious activity. Another example of suspicious activity is if you are used to using a Windows device to log into your device, and at a given time you use a MacBook, or you've been using Android and then at another given time use an iOS. So always Facebook will send you this message or notification so that you can confirm whether you are the one. So make sure you check on this, and if you realize that you are not the one who initiated this unusual activity or suspicious activity, make sure number one, you change your password, and number two, make sure you report any suspicious activity. Make sure you report suspicious activity. That's why you find that one way of knowing if your friend account has been compromised is when you realize unusual posts. They have posted some videos that your friend is not known to post such videos. You can always help them to tell them or to confirm whether they are the one who did or post that, so that they can be able to take necessary measures before it is too late. The lastly, you can be able to stay ahead of these hackers by making sure you educate yourself about security practices. Educating yourself about security practices means that you stay informed about hacking techniques and scams. When people share funny videos and ask you to click and watch, you are not the first to go and do that. Make sure you avoid that, because that is one way of spreading the malware, hacking your account, or spreading spam. So make sure you stay informed about hacking techniques and spams. Then review Facebook security guidelines. Facebook provides security guidelines on how you can be able to protect your account. Make sure you regularly review these security guidelines. And lastly, in conclusion, I can't emphasize on these matters about security, but remember, implement these security measures to protect your Facebook account. Number two, stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. And lastly, if you use a shared device to log in to your account, make sure before you leave that device, you log out. And after logging out, make sure you clear cache. Clearing cache is clearing your history. Remember, these caches store cookies of logging session. So if you don't clear them, anyone who take that device can be able to go to that and go to history, and they can be able to resume the session that you had logged in, and they can be able to access your account. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and remember to share this video. And also, if you have a question, type them on the chat function. I'll be sure to respond to you. And thank you.
In this life, well, everybody's